Hey y'all, welcome back to Straight Talk No BS. I'm Jay, the host. This is Tanya to the side of me.
Hey y'all.
Down below we have Taz, and up in the right hand corner we have Cynthia. How y'all doing?
Hey, hey, hey.
How are you doing?
Ooh, I'm doing. It's been a day, but I'm here. I made it. Yeah, today we're gonna talk about how cultures, or I'm gonna say our culture mainly, how sometimes we can feel oppressed or feel like we're trapped and we can't change the situation. So tonight I want to talk about how that feeling came about or how we got there, and talk about some of the pathways that we can take to get us back, to rebuild our culture.
All right.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with you, Francis. Why do you think us as black people, or why do you think that we feel so oppressed sometimes? Not everybody. I'm not speaking for every black person, because to some people that can sound like an excuse that we're making. But why do some of us feel oppressed? Where did it stem
Well,
from?
it stems from, you got to remember, what I'm saying? We've been traded off, we've been bought, you know what I'm saying? There's always been a price on us. So when you had um, black businesses that actually thrived, you know, they were burned down. They would go into our neighborhoods and, do things to us, kill us, kidnap, all of it. And then you got to remember, every step that we take, it's always a roadblock. But then you have your counterpart over here who's doing the exact same thing but getting ahead. So it's not an excuse that we use; it's the reality of it.
Okay, so when you said that we everything was burned, you're referring to Black Wall Street.
I am. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, I believe that Black Wall Street was put together out of necessity.
I definitely feel that. I feel like at the time, what was this, 1930s, 40s, 50s, around that time frame. I'm not sure the date, but I'm just saying around that time it was necessity for our culture, for us, I feel, to put together something to where it was for us because we had nothing. There was nothing that was for us to feel like we were united in a community type setting. You get what I'm saying? Everything was, there was no way for us to prosper, to survive, to thrive, to do anything of positivity. So we as a culture, we band together and are united together and created different things, banks, schools, hospitals, all of that. So we could, and, it was our community, people, and it was one centralized location. Everywhere, people from everywhere flocked to this location to be a part of this community because we had to. That's how we were able to survive. Nowhere else, segregation was really strong, so we weren't able to do anything and to live, our families, be successful, any of that. So it was done out of necessity. So now, fast forward, and we're here now in this time, and it's like our culture is divided. We don't support each other. We don't.
That's what I was about to say when you said they were united back then. Now we're not united,
We're not.
and I feel like that starts with the household. In our household, we need to teach our kids, how to be united instead of teaching them. A lot of times we have, as black folks, we have a lot of criticism against our own. You know what I'm saying? Instead of criticizing our own, we need to pull together and become united and help each other. You know what I'm saying? Far as, here's an example. When you go and you buy stuff from black businesses, and you say to yourself, "Oh, I'm supporting this black business."
Okay.
But you only bought something one time or once a month, but you go to Walmart every day to get your groceries.
Okay.
And the excuse is that, oh, the quality of the product isn't right, or this, I went and bought this shirt and it was had thread hanging out of it. It's always an excuse, or we're always critiquing or criticizing what each other do.
And so,
And I feel like if we do more investing in each other and the black businesses, if you invest in anything, you'll get better quality. You know what I mean? Put money
okay.
back into those businesses so they can give, a better quality of material.
Okay, so instead of Cynthia, how do you feel about it? So, I mean, I guess in keeping in line with how we're trying to rebuild our culture, investing into ourselves, into the communities, into the stores, into the small mom and pop shops and stuff like that is how you feel.
For anything to be great, you have to invest back into.
Okay.
Just like Amazon and all these other big corporations, when they started out, they had big, a lot of investment. There was a lot of money put into them. So therefore they can give good products. So I feel like if we do the same thing in our community and invest into these moms and pops or these black businesses, then we can grow and we can thrive.
Nate, how you feel about that?
For me, it's you all are right on the money. I do believe in supporting black-owned businesses. I come from that era in my growing up stage, where your neighbor, if they had a garden, they shared eggs, they shared, onions, they shared garlic. I mean, I can't think of a full moment where my grandmother actually went to the store and fully went grocery shopping because we had the chickens in the backyard. We had the rabbits in the backyard. So
there was unity
I remember that.
in your
I
community.
remember that.
yeah, I completely support that 100%. And I can sit up and talk about black-owned businesses. We're 4 women on this panel that are trying to be entrepreneurs, black-owned businesses. So,
In our
and I
own ways,
believe in the group that we have, I believe that we should support each other. I believe that we should stand tall to each other. I believe we should hold each other accountable. If it's not of quality, be woman enough, a man enough to say, hey, I don't mind supporting you, but this is not what I want to support you with. How can I help you,
There
along
you
your
go.
journey?
There
That's
you go.
just my personal opinion. Madam CJ Walker, she helped this lady grow her hair or whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden the lady didn't want to help her anymore. She was the first Black African American woman that was a millionaire, that was a billionaire, and that was back in the late 1800s, 1900s. So if they did it back then with a little bit of nothing, but the things that we have today, the technology we have today,
There's no excuse
the
for it.
tenacity that we have today, actually in the Black community, there is no excuse. You can't keep complaining and blaming
There you
someone
go.
else for your downfall if you're not trying to do something to help yourself. And so what if the man
I
knocks you
totally
down?
agree. I
So
totally
what
agree because why complain about it when you have all this knowledge at your fingertips? You know what I'm saying? Back then, we didn't have social media or the internet or whatever. You can find out how to do anything nowadays. So there's
Anyhow,
no
yes, you can.
excuse.
Definitely. Fran?
We really have to say we need more education.
Please hold.
For me,
Yeah, 10 years.
Account security
Oh, I hear you now. I know you was actually talking to me.
associated with your account.
for me, I just don't give yourself an excuse. Don't give somebody the excuse of what you can't do. If you can't go through straight path, take a turn, go around the corner. It may take you 2 or 3 years longer to get it done, but you can get it done as long as you believe in yourself. And it starts with self. It doesn't start with the community. It doesn't start with your immediate family. It starts with you. You have to believe in yourself when no one else will.
I believe it starts with home. It starts with home. It starts with educating your kids. And first of all, teach them about our history.
I was going to say that. I was thinking that, we teach, or I feel like there's not any separation as far as when you growing up initially, like when you're a kid and you're in daycare and stuff like that, you don't see anything different or whatever. But as you grow up, then it seems like there becomes this division with us in groups, like in schools.
You're talking about as far as races, right?
Yes, right. We end up pooling and going, but we're not really, what am I trying to say? We're not really familiar with ourselves, with who we are. We're not, sometimes, I have to say this, in my household, I'm a Black woman, but for some reason growing up, and I can't really put my finger on exactly why, but it was like, I wasn't taught about my culture, about me.
You want me to jump in and tell you why?
I'm
I
sure
just
you-
talked about this. The reason why you wasn't taught about it is because we as Black folks, we down each other. You know what I'm saying? We talk about our race more than anybody else do. We don't trust each other. So when you're growing up in that household and your parents, they're brainwashed and they're telling you, hey, this is not the way to be or this is not the way to act, and they don't teach you about your own Blackness, they're failing you.
Too busy trying to
Trying
train
to teach you that
yes,
that
it's
the
a
other way
derogatory
is the
thing.
yes.
It's negative,
There you go.
and you need to strive to be the other way. That the only way to be successful is to be this way. not really cementing who we are as people and our strengths and our creativity and our passions for stuff.
So I say it's important to know your history because then you can share those positive things.
Yeah, I agree.
Share those positive things with your kids so they don't feel negative about their own race.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Francis. What's your take on this?
I mean, I have to totally agree with it. I mean, in order to go to get to where we're trying to go, we have to know where the hell we come from. We got to know, the background. You no matter what it is you do, you have to know the background in order to know how it was destroyed or what can you do to make it better. You got to know the history on it, and you have to be taught that. They're not going to teach our kids all of that in school, so we got to what they don't teach them, we got to teach them. Because I mean, they're not going
Definitely.
to. They're definitely not going to admit to. What I'm saying? They put like this. They just give a half story. They don't go into depth about it.
So keep
So
continuing to teach from young is another way to get us to start rebuilding our community and making us stronger now and this day and time that we live in now.
Yep.
You're saying teaching
yeah.
from young, and I definitely agree with that because that would have helped tremendously to keep me from feeling like I was I don't know how to word it. It felt I didn't come into myself until late adult life. You know what I'm saying? It's really ugly, but you know. I think
Who was this?
uh
Jonesy. He has a question. He said, "Will we ever become free?" Being free is free in your mind. That's what I believe. Free in your mind. But I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. You just have to take the right steps to do it. You know what I mean? Don't you can't walk around with that oppressed mind. You know what I'm saying? We know that we've been oppressed for 400 and some years. We know that. But now have a different mindset. Say to yourself that I can do whatever I want to do and ain't nobody going to stop me. That's the way I live my life.
y'all, I definitely okay. I feel like what I was expressing earlier about back in the day when we had to do things out of necessity because of our time that we lived in then. You understand? Coming together, slave, all of that. But where we are right now, do you feel 100%, and this is something that we've had a conversation about, a debate about, do you feel like we're doing the same thing by just completely investing into just us again in the same manner that we did back in the day? You understand what I'm trying to say? Making our own hospitals, our own banks, our own schools, our own
No, I
community.
don't feel like it's a bad thing because back in the day what was done was out of malice, meaning making sure that black folks live in a certain part of town. You know what I'm saying? Or only investing in white businesses or whatever, taking our ideas, whatever. That was done out of malice. So if we're trying to put back into our community, I don't think that we're doing it out of malice. I think we're doing it because we're trying to rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't feel guilty about just shopping at all black, for companies or whatever. I wouldn't.
Okay.
Black owned businesses. I wouldn't feel bad about putting my money into it.
Nay, how you
And
feel?
I, I
Why
don't I
would
don't
why would we as a people have to feel bad for supporting each other? I mean, it's just like you all have been saying with education or whatever. They set their children up for the finer things. And when I say they, I'm not just talking about the white culture. I'm talking about Chinese, Vietnamese,
you're
Asians. They
right.
all come over here and they get those loans and they work together and they own the hair stores and they
You
own
definitely
this and they
right.
own that. So it's not just white people. This is not about race. The point is that us as a people have to pull together. Like I said, on this panel is four of us, and I know other black men and women that are trying to get their businesses off the ground, and you ask your immediate family and friends to support you, and oh, that's cute, but they don't support. I can't tell you
Well,
how many
another.
times I
Go ahead,
can't
Nate.
tell you
Sorry.
how many times I've asked family and friends to support $5 here, $10 there, $7 here, but my white friend slash sister can donate $150 for a cause. So it's not about race. It's not about race. It's just about us pulling together as a people.
And that would
Well,
definitely
I'm gonna say
help.
one thing about race is that when you see all the Asian people and you see all the different cultures that come here, the number one thing is education because they know that's the pathway to greatness. They know that's the way they're gonna have a good life. Now, I'm not saying that education isn't number one to black people, but I'm just saying we need to put more education in our households. We need to hold our kids to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we get too caught up in living day to day because we got so much stress around us. You know what I'm saying? We just always stress, so it's like we're not thinking of the future.
Right, because I
We're
guess
just thinking about right now,
right now.
right now. When in the Asian households, they're thinking about forget it. You know, I know we're going through this problem right now. Eat this little handful of rice, but you still got to go to school and get that education. You know, they're more strict about education.
And we're not so much about that. Do you think and like you said, because at first I thought maybe it's that we take education for granted. You know what I'm saying? Education here where
That
we
too.
are now is almost free. I mean, and not
That
free,
too.
but you understand what I'm saying. But we may take it for granted. But then also, Jay, you brought a point that a lot of times our home structure is so
There's not any structure in the
or that is
household.
lacking some
It's
structure
lacking
because
structure.
of
Structure.
having to worry about, oh, we got to go to work. Mom and daddy got to do this right here. We got to worry about going to pay these bills. Young teenagers that are like 16 or whatever in school, they got to maybe drop out because why? I got
They
to go
fall
help mama.
behind.
You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, it's not just maybe taking education for granted, but it's the
It's
lifestyle at
just the pressure of
home
life. The pressure of
is
life.
not where you can put education first. So in a way to get back to rebuilding, how can you take
We
that?
need to
What's a
put
way
more,
to help that?
just need to put more structure in the household and hold our kids accountable. As far as Francis just keeps bouncing out.
I'm about to
We
ask
just we
Francis
just
what she felt about that. Where you go,
we just
friend?
need to hold we need to hold our kids to a higher standard as far as
Education.
education.
Na-
As
Nay?
you
I
know, I know
do.
we have.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go
No, no,
ahead.
wait.
Go
No,
ahead.
no.
That's all right. Go
Jay, go
ahead. Go
ahead.
ahead, Nay.
I do agree with the education part, but did y'all honestly know that there's 19 black-owned banks in the whole United States of America, and one of the black-owned banks here in Texas only is United Way Bank. They've been founded since 1985. That's crazy to me. I didn't know that. That's the only reason I brought that up. I did not know that. That was educational for me. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's only four black-owned beauty supplies. As much as black people love their hair, because
Are you serious?
baby, I'm not four, sorry, 400. 400. Only 400 black-owned beauty supplies. I was
That's
like,
still kind of shocking because you would think, as much as they're usually who is the main people that you see owning these stores?
Asian,
Asians.
Asian.
Asian.
Yeah, you think that we as black people there would be more than just what is that 400 in the United States or what?
Four,
Where's that?
400 in all of the United States. I was like, I'm done. As
That
much as,
is
and
shocking.
I'm a black woman now who love the braids. I love to put that horsehair in my head. Do you hear me? Why we only
Okay.
got 400 stores? Why?
Hold on, y'all. Let me read this comment here. He says, or she, we are African, not black, but we hate ourselves.
That goes
No,
back to
no,
what you were
they,
Well,
talking
and yeah,
about.
and that's the thing that I go back to. It's a lot of negativity is taught in the household. Say don't trust this person or don't trust that. You can trust this other race before you can trust your own. We got to get past that mindset. We got to get past it.
Now you was about to
What's
say,
further than
just
that?
the
Then come
friend
on,
when you
Taz,
bumped out
jump in
earlier was about
anytime.
to ask you something. You bounced out. How you sound off on that comment right there?
What about
about
being?
hating ourselves because I don't. Mm-mm.
No, he's saying
No,
we as
we
black
made.
folks.
Yeah, I can agree with that because we are the race along with everybody else, all the other races that will go against us. We go against ourselves.
That's and you're right. Like that's pretty much
It's a
Yeah, y'all
straight
had to be
it's
honest. Y'all had to be
it's
honest.
a
If you was
straight
buying a product,
it's a
you need to
straight
buy from a white man.
it's a straight competition. And I
man.
think that, but I think that also comes from the fact that you got to look at when you walk into a store, the customer service, the quality of the product, You know what I'm saying? You got to look at all these things. And it kills me because you have some black people who, and I can't stand it, who will sit there and they want you to buy from them that they don't have good quality. We want good quality also. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
okay.
We don't want to buy something from you, but they're so busy trying to make an extra dollar, trying to get over. And don't get me wrong, we're not the only ones who do it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But if we're going to manifest, if we're going to build our black community up, then we got to start being honest and open and communicating with one another. We got to make sure that we have the best of, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is we selling, we got going on, from food, hair products, clothes, education, all of that.
I agree there.
And I don't understand why we can't be the best because everything that's done in America is pretty much by us, but other people are getting paid off of it.
Yeah.
So why can't we make it work for us? Why can't
Like
we
I
make it
said,
work for us?
because no matter how, look, we can move at the same pace as they do. We could have the same amount of money as they do. But I guarantee you, before somebody, we will get knocked 10 steps back before somebody even thinks of taking a look at what we got going on, what we're trying to do.
You
That's
know,
why I say
To
I'm
them, to them,
education
to
needs to be
them,
put in
to
place.
them, to them, I mean, it can, but here's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking education in no fashion or form. But it amazes me that no matter, even if we got one of us that's up here, this is where this is it for them. Like, this
What do
is
you
it.
mean?
They're not gonna
Yeah,
be they're not gonna rise up here. They're gonna stay
Okay, they're
well,
right here.
comfortable, staying
they done
No,
got they
comfortable.
done
no, it
settled.
no,
no,
it has
she's
nothing to
saying
do
that
with
there's only a
comfort.
certain. She's saying that you can't rise. You know, she's trying to say
It's
that the
like
man want to keep you at a certain spot.
at a certain
Oh,
spot.
got you,
It has
got you. Ah, Fran, you froze. Okay,
Hey,
so
what's your take on that?
she's not saying that you're comfortable in one spot. She's saying that
She's saying that it seems like you can't rise any
ever
further.
go any
Yeah,
further than that. You want to, but you're just not able to because of situation. Is that what you're saying?
that's what
Like,
she's saying.
okay, okay.
But
But
you
what?
know what? Even in that sense, some people do settle for where they are. Some people just don't have the drive to go forward, and that's not downing nobody. That's not talking about nobody. But every day that you wake up and God fill your lungs with air, you should want to strive to be better, to do better, to be better, to help people. Sometimes once they get to that plateau, for example, because y'all are in the medical field, once they reach that RN level, they happy right there. They don't want to go no further. And I'll use myself as an example because I have epileptic seizures and it's hard for me to retain information. Sometimes in my own self, I get in my way because I use that as a crutch. But I'm only stopping myself. I
I
can't
think
I can't look at the next person and tell them what they're doing wrong when I get in my own way. That's why I say
I
for
think
me,
that no,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Cynthia, but I think that that has a lot to do with fear. Fear of wanting to be independent or wanting to rise above or to be better. I think that maybe, sometimes you feel when you say education, that is the key to opening up your mind to accept that, hey, I can. You get what I'm saying? Like, instead of saying, like, with the social media thing, learning more about, even, I'll keep it simple, learning about computers.
That's
You look at it, a lot of people, because computers weren't introduced to us until maybe right at the end of high school or maybe when you got into college or something. But so that leaves a fear of accessing it, the internet, how to go about it. It's a fear. It keeps you trapped. And I think sometimes that keeps people locked into thinking I can't go better or do better. I used to think that we couldn't do something as simple in some of these businesses because I said, "Oh, I haven't had any education or training. I didn't go to school and get anything professionally done. I haven't, I wasn't taught any of this other stuff.
I
So
don't have a degree in this
I don't
field.
have a degree in this. So we can't open up this business and thrive and be successful."
Well, that's one thing I
That
gotta
was a
say.
fear.
That's why I was sort of glad. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm happy about the pandemic, but with this pandemic, if you notice, there's a lot of people now that then figured out that it's a lot of things that I can do that I thought I couldn't do.
True,
You know what I'm saying? It
true.
forced them to step out,
It is
step
giving
out on
power.
faith,
Yep.
And
and
I'm
they.
one of those people. I'm one of those people. I didn't need a laptop for what? I got my phone. but I'm sitting on this screen in front of the laptop.
So it
I,
made a
I
lot of
mean,
people become more independent.
yeah.
You know, they realize, hey, the government ain't gonna step in and help me, so now I got to be more independent. So now if we take that and then just become united as a culture, we'd be on top.
Communication, communication. Stop.
Communication and education. How about holding others accountable? Because you can say what you want to do and what you feel like needs to be done, but what about you? Because as you grow, people are going to fall off. Your true people, your true people that support you, back you up, or whatever, that circle is going to get smaller and smaller. So we've hit on education. We've hit on not being afraid or whatever, but holding other people accountable so that you can go forward, because other people in your household, not necessarily just your race, but other people in your family will try to hold you back from what you feel is great. Just because you don't believe in what I'm doing, don't mean I'm not gonna believe in what I'm doing. You understand? Does that make
So
sense? What
have
I'm
more
trying to say?
faith in
Yeah.
yourself.
You know what? That you brought that up, and I like that point that you brought up because I remember Tanya said about socializing outside of your race when you're young or whatever. And a lot of us black people, we stick to each other. You know what I'm saying? We're
On
too
little
scared.
cliques and
Yeah,
stuff.
we don't trust other people in different races, and I feel like that's important in growing. You know, because you can really network if you reach out and get
Yes.
to know people in different races and try to have some trust instead of thinking that they're always trying to bring you down. You know, just like me myself, with my business that we're doing, a lot of my products they come from foreigners, and it's because I built those relationships with those foreigners, and we have loyal relationships.
Got it.
So
That's how you
networking,
can still thrive.
yeah,
You're still supporting yourself and your culture, and
you're supporting two minority
businesses,
cultures. You know what
but
I'm saying?
open
How,
up to
how much
others.
better can it be?
Yeah.
I'm supporting the Asian culture, and I'm supporting mine.
Got it. Got it.
And don't be afraid of rejection. I mean, I know that's lame to say, but don't be afraid of rejection, because for every no you get, you're gonna get at least 5 or 6 yeses. Ask people how to critique your work, or what do they think about your work. As long as they give it to you in a positive form and not trying to shoot you down as a blank, take it as a blessing and keep stepping. Just, I mean, I'm gonna always try to figure out how to make something greater. And don't be afraid to bless somebody else. You may be down, say you only got $50. Take 20 of that 50 and help somebody. Not because they need the help, just because it's a blessing. Blessings come in different forms, shapes, and sizes. They don't all come from the same people. I
You're
believe
right.
giving back is a form of, showing people who you are and where you come from.
You know, something that I was thinking about, y'all. How I feel another way to help rebuild, I guess, or it's almost like a retraining of the mind. You understand what I'm saying? It's reprogramming. We need to reprogram our thought processes, not with just ourselves, but as a people. But I feel like we at times don't appreciate what we do have.
There you go.
You get a house, a nice house. And I hate to say this, but it's so true. We get a house, have our young kids in that house, brand new house, and in no time at all, it's trash and it's ugly. And you wonder why we get the stereotype, oh, they done moved in the neighborhood, or we don't want them living in our nice situated neighborhood. So it's like, I wish we would take more pride in what we have. You know what I'm saying? And it's bad enough that you see cities or whatever, that I'll say the ghettos or whatever, you know what I'm saying, where they already keep black people in certain parts of the cities. It seems,
But
it's bad enough for that.
Why can't we rebuild
Rebuild those areas, make
rebuild
them
those areas, make them look presentable, make people want to come into your
value
business.
what you do
Yeah.
have. People who have the businesses and stuff in those neighborhoods, everybody.
They think just because I'm in this neighborhood, or for instance, I'm not talking about Oak Cliff, but I'm just going to use it as an example. When you hear that word Oak Cliff and then you hear Uptown, you're thinking Uptown is better, right?
Richland Hills, or
It's better.
Highland
Why
Park
can't
or
we
something
make
like
Oak
that.
Cliff look like Uptown? Why can't we?
Yes, I just sometimes. Francis, how you feel
We
about?
need to hold our neighbors and everybody accountable for, hey, let's keep this neighborhood looking good.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody wants to be bothered with anybody no more, whether it's your neighbor or whatever. It's like they don't get out and communicate and find out who the hell living next to you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And then it's like, to me, I feel like there's enough money to go around and for everybody. There's nothing wrong with supporting other businesses also, but let's have our own. Like for instance, those who want our clothing or our hair products, facial products, they can come over to the black spot and get them just as well as we can go over to the Asians or the white folks and get something that they got. You know what I'm saying? That we might not have, but we have our own. You see what I'm
Got it.
saying?
This is Francis. I want to ask you this question. So, why do a lot of black people they tend to shop at other nationalities or other people's shops versus their own black people shop? Why would they rather say they rather go to, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it, the white people shop instead of going to the black person shop? Why do you think that is?
Oh, well, first of all, how many black shops do we have versus how
so
many
there's
white shops do we have?
so you
You
saying
know,
how
we
the
don't have, we
quantity.
don't, we, yes, we don't have nothing to go shopping for at our own store. We don't have stores. Where they at?
Okay, so you
You
feel
know
it's
what I'm saying? I
they're
mean, we
scarce.
don't
There's
have
not
that.
that many. I, me personally, I think it's quality is why a lot of
Yeah.
times black people go to other places to seek out what they want. They feel like that shop over there has probably got better quality this than this shop over here. I think it has to do with quality also.
What you
Nay?
think,
I
Nate?
mean, yeah, depending on what they got. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that you're interested in, but the point is, she asked the question of why do we shop at the white folks store versus our store. Out here, we don't have our store. We got a their store, but we don't have an our store.
For me, I seek out, like I literally Google where can I go black owned. Like, and what I mean by that is being, what do you call it? Trying to eat healthy in the supermarkets that sell healthy stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Gray actually got online to see like some, what do you call it, farmers market. We tried to find several farmers market out here in the area where we just moved to. And again, guess what? As big as Dallas is, or as big as DeSoto is, or whatever the case may be, Judy, it was only one, and I was shocked. I mean,
Wow.
it was like six, but they weren't black owned. And being that we were necessarily talking about this today, we
Mm-hmm.
only found one, and it's like 25 minutes away from here.
And then you
And
got to
so
drive to get to it.
you
Good
got to
lord.
drive to get to it. And when we went, like it was nice, it was beautiful, and guess what? It was really small. But they have their main customers that they get that come through all the time that keeps them open. And yeah, I asked the husband and wife about the pandemic, and because they did have some donations because they couldn't get the fruits and stuff in like they were getting them before the pandemic. That's what kept them open in the 10 people that they employed. They got donations to come in. That tripped me out when we seen that. That tripped me the hell out. I didn't mean to put it on the map as far as Dallas, but I had to give an idea. It was six or
Yeah.
seven of them in this area, but only one black owned.
So
And
that supports Francis what you were saying as far as where are they? When you're looking for them, they're either scarce in your community or you have to drive a mile and a half or two to get to whatever. Like here where we are,
Well, I'm sure
there's
there's a lot of black people who want to own a business. Like you said, it's a lot of fear that's holding us back. We need
yeah,
to quit being fearful. We need to use, like I said, the information at our fingertips and find out
it's readily available.
how to get these grants, how to apply for grants to open up a business and
And
start a business.
don't think that you can't have those or that they're not for you. If you don't understand the lingo or the jargon that's associated with it, ask for help. Find out about that. The other thing that I'm thinking is competition, where we get something right, but now we're in competition with the other person that has something that's the same or similar of the same. Instead of hey, let's support each other. Let's find a way to support each other. You don't have to be in competition or smash the other and don't support each other. Just you understand what I'm saying? It feels like we're always in competition.
I'm
I
not. Let me tell y'all who
And we
my
the only
customers gonna
race.
be. My customers gonna be my kids. My grandkids gonna be my models. You understand? I'm over my own model agency. I'm just being 100. It's gonna be little kids agency, okay? Little black kids running around, and they gonna have everything on that they grandma made. Cook cricket straight, misspelled, backwards. Where you
Okay.
get that from, my Gigi? Okay,
My
look.
TG did it. Yeah.
another thing is I think that would also play another part in it when you say, Judy, you know what I'm saying, get these grants and all of this. There have been a few people that I know of that has gotten um, these grants for trying to open up a business,
Yeah.
and they have yet to do it. So mishandling of the funds, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if they done start handing out this money, and all of a sudden, when they go to look at that paperwork and there's no business that was supposed to be a business, what happened to that money? Now that person's going to have to pay it back. Now next time another black person want to open a business, it's like, well, we're not too sure about it because of, you know what I'm saying? Of course, they're not going to give us the real reason, but there's going to become a reason,
Yeah.
and which is sad because what they don't understand is just because we all may be of the same shade doesn't mean we all think or act the same.
That's right. One thing I got to say about these grants, even right now with this pandemic that's been going on, and they've been offering
Hmm.
all these grants for people, with who lost their businesses and stuff. A lot of black people are just overlooking it. They're not even paying it no attention. You know what I'm saying? If they hear it and it don't make sense to them, they automatically dismiss it.
Just
So I was so happy that P Diddy got together and he made a video to tell everybody, hey, go out and get this money because it's money
it's
out there
money for
readily
us.
available for y'all.
Yeah.
Go get it. So we as black people, we got to stop being scared and go through the process. If we don't know how to do it, find somebody who knows how to do it. We have social media right here at our fingertip. There is no reason why you can't find out how to get that money to open up
Not
a
not only
business.
not only that, when you're reading your paperwork, if it's something in that paperwork or something in the fine print that you do not understand, go to a lawyer, get some kind of advice, because I guarantee you somewhere in that, and there's a loophole in it that we have to abide by that they don't. So get somebody to go over that paperwork with you.
Definitely, so you can get a better understanding of what it is and what it
Yeah. So they
involves, what
won't
you're getting
be,
yourself into.
yes.
But don't let it be so intimidating that you don't attempt and try it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Can I?
that's
That
the thing. My whole thing is, I mean, while you sitting around, or a lot of us sitting around feeling oppressed, feeling depressed, take that energy and go put it towards something positive. Find a way because there is a way. There's an answer to everything.
And let me say this too, because I seen a video and I sent it to you all. Master P and his son Romeo has founded their own little business of entrepreneurship. They're helping other people with small businesses. But when I watched the video, just a little clip, I didn't finish it. Master P, the first thing that came out of his mouth that caught my eye: how much money are you investing in yourself? Quit waiting to get a handout. How much of your own earned money? I don't care if it's 50 cents, $2,
that's
$3.
it.
How much of your own money have you invested in yourself? You can't ask the bank or another place to invest in you, but you won't take the time to invest in yourself. And I thought
There
that
you
was
go.
so powerful. I really, really did. I mean, if you done put $800 and $800 is all you had, and now you bankrupt, somebody will be quicker to help you and believe in you and give you
Yeah.
that extra push. But you got to be able to show face value that you believe in yourself.
Yes,
And they, with
absolutely.
that being said, that's one of the problems amongst a lot of black people. We take that money and we go just go buy a car. We waste
TVs
it.
and
Money
clothes.
is a tool. You need to use it to get to where you
Invest
want to
it.
get to invest it. Invest in yourself to make more money. That's how rich people get rich. They take what they have and they invest it and reinvest it and keep reinvesting. But we're investing in empty promises. You know what I'm saying? You going to I when you got $1,200, you say, "Oh, I'm gonna go spend this whole $1,200. I'm gonna go get this jewelry, and I'm gonna go do this and that." No, invest it in something that's gonna bring you back income, a flow of income.
Man,
So investment is really important.
I find that a lot of times in the show that you have now, where we're talking to the music artists and we're asking
Yeah,
them to put up a entry fee, a small entry fee to
invest in yourself.
invest into yourself and what you believe in to potentially profit back. And a lot of them don't. They have a mindset of, nah, I ain't finna pay that money. I'm finna go over here to.
They just living for today. You got to quit just living for today. And that's all of us. We got to quit living just for today. We got to think for our future.
You think Black
And
people as a
I
culture
believe
don't do
other
that?
cultures, that's what they do. You know, when in a household, they raise their kids to think toward the future, not just for today. You
Just
agree?
just for today.
as
Like,
as a panel of four black women, for me and my three kids, I do and I did push education. Don't let nobody stop you from your greatness. Get that education. And if you think college is not a thing for you, then go to a trade school. If you don't like a trade school, find something that's gifted for you. So what are some of the things that you all may have told your kids for them to be greater or better than the stepping stones that we had?
Well, I'll talk about me. When I was growing up, I was pushed, but not pushed too hard. I was still able to do whatever I wanted to do, which caused me to end up dropping out of high school. But I'm not going to say I dropped out. I got my GED before I got out of high school. And then I went on to college, so that feeling of not being able to walk across that stage with all my other classmates, it hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I had lost out on a lot of education because I got out of school when I was in ninth grade. So that pushed me. I said, you know what? I'm already behind everybody else. So now I got to catch up. That was my mindset. So I said, you know what? I'm going to strive hard to be the best and do everything I can to make sure I get educated. So I went to school. That's what drove me to go to school, become a respiratory therapist, and keep diving in every damn thing I could dive into. I was just hungry for it. But as far as my
that's
kids,
what I was about to say.
oh,
In turn, yeah, that led to education being something that we strongly pushed with our children. You don't have an option. College is definitely it. We finished middle school and high school and college. So where are we going to college? Where your interests lie? What are the things that you're interested in? We even influenced them definitely medically wise, but we
yeah,
knew they had other interests too. But knowing they knew that, hey, college is something that we expect. We want you to finish
we
this
made
and
sure we
push it.
kept structure in our household
Now,
as far as education.
hard-headedisms still came through, but still, I'm just saying that was one thing that we pushed was education.
What about you, friend?
Um, I'm like you. I ended up getting my GED. I did take some college courses. And it's when it came to the kids, like I told them, well, when they walked across that stage, okay, now what do you do? What is it that you want to
Mm-hmm.
do? Um, Basically, it was just the fact that I didn't say, okay, you going them. I didn't tell them that. This is a
You
life
didn't
that they
tell
have
them
to
what?
choose. Therefore,
She
they
didn't tell
have
them that they're
to.
going to college.
Oh,
I didn't say you have to go to college. I want you to be happy and comfortable with what you do because sometimes pushing them too hard makes them rebel back. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't tell them this is what you gonna do. No, they wanted to go to trade school. They knew what they were interested in. My daughter was taking some of those courses in high school. You know what I'm saying, of what she wanted to do, coding. So I mean, they knew what they wanted to do. And like my son, he does want to own his own lawn service business. He likes landscaping. So there we have it. And I mean, and
When I
he has a universal HVAC license. You know what I'm saying? So
You'll
You know.
definitely be able to be successful in that department. I, I feel that when I say tell our kids that they have to do this or have to do that, I mean in the aspect of keeping this into your mind to know that you can do anything and have an open mind that there's something past what you're done once school is over. Just like you said,
Mm.
Francis, knowing that there's a plan for the future. So letting them know and pushing education was our way of saying, hey, seek other things that you want to do. If you have to go to school to get this particular thing that you want to do, then that's the way you need to do it. But making sure that they have their mind open to keep going and not just settling
Not
for,
just
oh, I just
settle and
graduated, now I'm gonna work at Jack in
and
the Box.
staying in the same situation that they're in.
Yeah, so it's important, I feel. So that's
Yeah.
another way to help bridge or to
To
rebuild,
rebuild.
to
I,
teach your children, teach us not to just be settled for what's right here. Don't push yourselves to
mm,
want more.
When
not
you
only
said,
that, you know, I was going to say, not only that, another thing that gets me is the fact that, you know, the fact of them calling us lazy, not, you know,
Not
doing
being
one
driven.
thing and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's another thing, you know. And I watched this video today where this lady said that she's from Africa,
Hmm.
but she moved to I think it was Canada somewhere, and she said they called us poor and said that she said, but in Africa, everything that you purchase is done with cash, meaning
Hmm.
once you pay for it, it's paid off. Whereas where she moved to, they have credit.
Okay.
Go get a cell phone, credit. You get a house, credit. You get a
Hmm.
car, credit. So who's poor? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
See, even though you put it on credit, you still got to pay that.
That's true.
Whereas, and then she also said another thing was that she said if here, you know, in the States, if you lose your job, you lose everything because you can't pay your bills, you can't pay your mortgage or whatever the case may be. But over in Africa, if you lose your job, you still get to keep all that. Why? Because you paid for it in cash.
It's yours. You're still able to
Yeah, but
survive and thrive.
I believe that black people are scared of credit, and you shouldn't be scared of credit because credit is the way to wealth.
We talked about that on our credit show. It's all about
And
knowing
that's what
how
we
to
need to
manage
learn. You
it.
know, we got to quit living in what our grandma used to tell us. No, I'm not finna put that on my credit. I don't want no credit cards and all that stuff. You need to use that credit
Just know
because I'm telling
how.
you,
It's an
you
asset.
use that credit. That is the pathway to wealth.
One of them, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
It's really important.
can't be afraid of it. You just got to know how to manage it and be taught how to manage it. We on that credit show again, ain't we?
But it is important. That's
But
another
that's
way to
true. That's
No,
the
it
way
was
to
just it was
rebuild.
it was
That's the
just
way
the
that.
point of how to, you know what I'm saying, of not becoming the stereotype. Shut up,
Oh,
Judy.
yeah.
so let me ask this. What
Yeah.
are what are one thing, or what is one thing, or what is two things that us as a nation or us as a race can do? Like for me, I believe in sewing back into. I know we've touched it, but like Straight Talk merchandise. Every time Straight Talk come out with something, I want it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I still got to
Putting
get my
into it.
coat. What about over? I still ain't got my coat.
Duh.
My credit card still ain't cleared up, so I can get my coat. How can we tell Black people to keep investing in keep if you don't have your own dreams of being an entrepreneur, find something in the Black
To
community
support.
that you can support, invest in. How can
You
we?
just said it. You just said it. You just gave the answer to it. Use your mouth and talk.
Word of
Speak to
mouth
these
is the
people. Let's
best
pick up each other.
advertisement.
Let's talk. Let's encourage each other. Let's really have each other's back. That's what we need to do.
Advertisement is the best advertisement is word of
Be
mouth.
your
That's what I
brother's
would.
keeper.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just saying, help your neighbors. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Get to know your neighbors. Help your neighbors.
Well, I don't know.
Young kids who want help. Reach
Yep.
out to them and give them help. Show them that there is a way for greatness. I mean, you can be better. You don't have to sit in the same situation that you in.
Mhm.
Educate them.
You
Education. You
become a
back to that.
mentor.
Teach them what you know. That's right. And you ain't got to
Share.
go
There
nowhere
you
to do
go.
it.
That's
You know
exactly
what I'm
it.
saying?
Share
That's
the
it.
knowledge that you
The young
have.
kids that are around you, they're going to be the ones who's going to take care of us when we get older. You know what I'm saying? So
Shit, and what you
educate them, teach them, show them how to make it. Don't just have all this knowledge and don't do shit with it. That's what
Yep.
irritates me. I'm a
Yep.
teacher. If I know something, I'm gonna tell everybody about it. I'm not stingy. You
That's
know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
right.
If I find out a way to
Do
have a
something.
successful business, you gonna have a successful business.
That's right.
Yep.
And really mean that. You know what I'm saying? Really mean that. When you're
We got
trying
to
to
stop
share
all
your,
this backstabbing.
that part, that's what I was trying to get to when I was talking about we're always in competition because that's how it seems. You don't want it. You would rather hold
We
in.
already in competition with
Yes,
everybody else in the
everyone
world.
else.
Now, why in the hell are we the only race that in competition with ourselves?
Don't make
But
it out
look,
of
you
hill of
also
sense.
got to have a teachable spirit. You can we can give you the knowledge, or they can give us the knowledge, but you got to be able to absorb the knowledge and the wisdom that they're giving you. Don't
That's true.
necessarily knock off somebody's opinion of how to do things. It may be another way to do it, but just because they say it this way, don't mean that it's in fine print. Don't knock it
That's
out the box.
right. You're
Don't knock
right.
it out the box.
You're right. Take that advice, absorb it, hear it, tweak it, make it personable to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
There's a
one
way.
way
There's a
that
way to reach everybody.
every way.
You just got to
Yep.
find a way to reach that person, and you have to be patient.
That might be another thing to bridge and make us rebuild ourselves. Patience.
Patience and having faith.
Tanya, what is one thing, and I'm gonna keep saying this, what is one thing I agitated you with trying to learn how to make a shirt because you were my teacher?
I
Like, God
think,
damn it, I just told her this yesterday.
well, it would be the thing I just said, patience. Patience, because it's like, or maybe self-critical of yourself too much. Because it's like
Okay.
if you're trying to do this thing, it's a new thing. It's new, like learning a new language. And you're not allowing yourself to absorb it, take it in, and be patient enough for it to stick. You have to do something repetitive and over and learn the ins and outs of why it's happening and why you do this or whatever before it becomes something that you know and before you can become great and put out good product. So patience, and I think that may apply to a lot of people, a lot of our people. You don't have patience to
Because
stick
they
with
want,
something.
yeah, they want it right away.
Right now,
right
and
away.
that's true
Yeah.
with the youngsters. I want it right now. They live in a right now, right now, right now. And you got to be patient to get somewhere.
Like we
Nothing.
done said a million times, you have to invest in anything that's going to be great.
Give it time and
Yes,
stick
Lord.
with it.
Yes.
The greatest things take a long time to, you know what I'm saying, to come
Generally
forth.
speaking, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right. Nothing
Because that,
happens
that means
overnight.
that you put in a whole lot of sweat, tears, hard work, and love into what you're creating.
Yep.
Whether that's with something like a business, whether that is a sport, a physical attribute you have, maybe you want to be a basketball, football, whatever it is that you're passionate about, be patient enough with yourself to develop it, give it time, open yourself up to receiving advice and criticism from this person, that person. Don't be afraid to launch and to go out there and take chances and risks. Socialize with other people so you can network. Quit being in competition with everybody all the time about everything. I mean, and support and put in. And I think those things right there, all the things, that's pretty much what we've talked about tonight. I'm just saying, if we as a culture can stick to these things, just those, because that's the basics. There's a whole bunch more.
Become united and have faith in one
United,
another.
have faith, have more value, appreciate what you do
Stop having
have.
more faith in the other cultures instead of your own.
We will be great. We are already great. Our creativity is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Our ideas that people have used and profited off of for hundreds of years. It's amazing. So if we can just pull together, we wouldn't be in the situations that we find ourselves in now. We really wouldn't.
That is definitely a fact. That is definitely a fact. And for young people, don't think it's gonna come fast. It's not gonna come fast. Nothing that comes fast lasts long. Nothing. If
Yeah.
you put your blood, sweat, and your tears behind it, at the end of the day, you're gonna reap what you're looking for at the end of the day. But if you're looking for fast, instant gratitude, it's not gonna help you at the end of the day.
So y'all, what y'all thinking? You think this bridge of repair might help somebody somewhere out in this world?
I hope so. Hope so.
I
Cass,
don't know. I
you have
don't.
any last words?
Maybe if it just helped one person. I used to say
And
five or
that's all
10,
it
maybe
takes.
20. But if it's just one person that looked at this and paid attention to it, we blessed.
That's where change
Yeah,
starts. Doesn't it start with one?
yeah, yep. Not only that, with them sharing their knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it furthers ours and sticking together. We gotta come to a point to where we can have each other's back and we're not sitting up here smiling in each other's face but going behind each other back talking and downing that person and trying for their business not to succeed because their business over here is moving quicker than yours. That's
And they want to
fine.
stay on top. Look, you can have a little
Yeah,
piece of the pie, but you can't have
that
more than
that's
the pie that
fine.
I'm getting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, you gotta, and when they business is thriving, fine, support them, still building
Only
yours, and hopefully they
yeah.
support you and vice versa.
I'm finna put the nail in
I
the
only
coffin.
got I
Even
only
if
got
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Judy.
I was about to say the only thing I gotta say is quit making excuses. We all have to stop making excuses and hold our own selves accountable.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
exactly what I was going to
yeah,
say. Even if they
yeah.
don't support you, support them. You took it right out of my mouth. Even if they don't support you, you keep supporting them. Dang, Judy, boy, ooh, boy, we've been around each other too long.
Yeah. Y'all,
Because I swear I was just going to say that.
what about listening to our elders or the older
Girl,
people?
yes,
I mean, ain't
yes,
that where you can learn from to save yourself a lot of
yes.
heartache and misery and mistakes? I mean, you're going to make them anyway. We do. But
Well, my kids
man,
don't
just
cuss me out, but they don't listen to older people. I do. I still listen. I can sit up around three old women and just get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and soak it
And just
all
listen.
in. I mean, and
it's
You'll learn a lot.
the kids up under us, they don't have time for that. What they talking about? What does that
right.
mean?
And that is
They don't
exactly
have
what you
time for that.
hear. Yep.
I love it. I love it. My auntie
But
just passed,
I
and they
can't
were
just say
talking.
that's all negative on their end because we got to remember too that times have changed
True.
They
and
have.
yeah, times have changed.
True.
We've advanced a whole lot, so things are different now, and we got to move different. We got to
So
move with the
so
times.
Hey,
so basically,
say,
old folk need to hurry up and get it out. Hurry up,
yeah,
spit it
your
out. Put it in the
elders.
pie.
What'd you say, friend? What'd you
Say it
say?
again, Francis.
Rose up.
She froze.
What'd you say, Francis?
Nowadays, your elders is your 24-year-old niece. I said
Girl,
nowadays your
stop
elders is
Ooh,
like
girl,
the 36-year-old niece or somebody. So
girl.
we don't too much want to listen to them. We don't want to listen to them. No, not them.
What you say? The old big mamas in the okay, but not.
Yeah, we need to go. We need to take a road trip and go search of my big mama is in heaven. So we need to go search of somebody's big mama. I don't know whose, but somebody.
Okay.
We just
Yep.
can't let it be this. Yeah, we got to go find somebody.
What'd you say?
I
Skip
don't
back a
care.
generation.
Hey,
Rewind.
I don't care if we got to go find Martin Lawrence. Go to Big Mama house. We gonna find somebody
Somebody.
Big Mama.
So,
Well,
girl.
y'all, our time is up, and I got to say that I still feel like education is the number one thing. Knowing our history, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Know where we
Teaching
came
everybody
from.
else about our history. The only way that we can succeed in life is by knowing our history. Okay. Anyway, anybody else got any last words?
I think we summed it up
We
pretty
summed
much.
it
I
up.
do.
Peace,
All
love,
right.
and
Well,
happiness.
hopefully somebody didn't got something out of this show tonight. But anyway, y'all, it's been straight talk, no BS. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share,
Definitely.
subscribe. Make sure you share. I meant to say that at the beginning of the show, but it left my mind. But y'all, make sure y'all share our show, please. Come back next week. All
Okay,
right.
so
And also, y'all, if y'all want to hear something that y'all want us to touch on or talk about, leave
definitely,
us some comments. Go to our page, inbox us, leave us a message, and tell us what you want to hear us talk about.
definitely.
Because we will open the door, baby. We will get down and dirty with it. Whatever the conversation, whatever the
We're
topic.
gonna always keep it straight talk, no BS.
That's
So
it.
Yes.
whatever you want to know, just let us know. Drop some messages in our inbox. All right, y'all. We're gonna get up out of here, y'all. All y'all have a good night. Again, it's been straight talk, no BS. Good night.